Hello everyone, I hope you are doing very well again. Today it's my second video because I made a commitment to myself that I will be making 500 videos, and 500 videos, maybe I might be making a one video a day, and it might be few videos a day, but overall my target is that I will be achieving this target maybe in a few months time. It might be 5 months, 6 months, or a year. So the deadline for this target is that I will be achieving this target uh, by next March. So this is really a good opportunity for me. This is a challenge as well as an opportunity. So whenever there is a challenge, there is an opportunity. Fortunately, I have accepted this challenge, and today it's my second video, and I am gradually moving in that direction where there will be a time, a point, I will have improved my public speaking as well as speaking in front of cameras very comfortably. At the moment, definitely, I am not comfortable. So today, I also uh, went to attend the meeting of Reading Speakers Club because I mentioned previously that Reading Speakers Club, I have become vice president education, and the purpose of this entire exercise efforts journey is to improve the public speaking. It is definitely uh, testing that initiative is taking a toll on me and testing my will, but obviously there is a cost involved anything that we would like to do. So I have accepted this challenge wholeheartedly, and there is a motivation behind this initiative, especially when we are coming into these countries where English language is a medium of instruction. It helps and facilitates communicating with the local people. So there is motivation behind public speaking, and secondly, being the presenter. Whenever we are presenting something, delivering a speech, presenting some presentation. So when we are comfortable with public speaking presentations, we can develop the interest of the listeners, which is basically the purpose and motive behind this struggle. I have never been, and I do not feel shy, do not um, hesitate to admit my mistakes. I believe when we are admitting our mistakes, that is going to be the very first step towards journey for self improvement. I made mistakes in my past, even if I can recall my journey back in Pakistan at Qaid Azam University when there used to be a time for presentations. Instead of facing that fear, I used to run away and used to avoid presenting. Not sure whether I used to be lazy at that time, I or because it requires some efforts, I did not want to take efforts. But anyway, there comes a time, there comes a point when we realize that it is the right time to start thinking about developing public speaking skills. And now it is also my need technically, whenever I'm interacting with the local population, whether it is club or my workplace, or when I had been in Glasgow, I had not faced any sort of challenges in communicating with people. But there is a difference between speaking English and when it comes to public speaking. Public speaking is something else. It reminds me of something. I was in Glasgow once. I attended a club meeting. So on my way back, I came across a friend of mine who was accompanied by another friend, and he asked me, my friend asked me, where did I go? And then I told him that I have joined a club which helps me in improving, enhancing my public speaking skills. And then the friend of my friend said, you do not need to join any club to become to speak English. Then I failed to understand, and I could not explain to a friend of my friend that there is a difference between speaking English communications and then public speaking skills. A public speaking skill is when we are speaking to public who is comfortable coming onto the stage, delivering the message in the best possible way, comfortable with the audience, taking into consideration audience, and they and is able to capture their attention, divert their entire attention towards his message, which is a skill. And these skills are, this is an art which can be developed over time. And now I'm very passionate for that reason, because it is um, something that we can develop. We can inculcate some of the habits in ourselves. We can just keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and then it becomes a part and parcel of our personality, and we can develop those skills, and which are really useful skills, and they are the such skills which can be really useful, and especially in the times when we are moving forward into the virtual world where human interaction is limited, but we are more into seeing each other interacting through the virtual world. So in that particular context, whenever we are able to develop effective public speaking skills, it helps in developing strong relationships. Relationships are always key, especially for a profession like myself. For instance, my job responsibilities are project management, project leadership. In project leadership, we will have to lead the situation and manage teams, work in teams. Their skill is going to be really worthwhile, and it is worth it. All the efforts and energies that I'm trying to put in, and so today, for instance, my role was to I signed up for a role where I used to invite different people to and used to give them impromptu speeches, and they used to deliver 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute speeches. So over time, this will be all those skills will be contributing towards my success, towards my personal and professional development. So these are basically the motivations, and especially in my role, what I am currently doing, we have lots of stakeholder engagement activities. We have to engage with the diverse stakeholders, understand their viewpoint, and then convey our message and convey in such a way so that it is easier understandable to the people. And because whenever we are delivering some message, it is and not delivering, conveying the message in the best possible way, then it creates a communication gap, and then the essence of the message is lost. Therefore, public speaking is really vital, very essential, and anyone who ever fancy watching those videos, and over time, if anyone is wants to jump into this bandwagon, I'm happy to collaborative efforts will be really useful. Collaborate and then practice, work together. Like I said previously a number of times, I don't feel any sort of hesitation in admitting my weaknesses in and sharing my personal observations, that it is something that I do not possess that vital skill, but over time it can be developed, it can be enhanced, and it is really useful. And mm, maybe tomorrow I'm going to another city for job related some activity, but tomorrow is going to be very hectic day for me, because on the very next day, on Wednesday, I have got two meetings and two presentations. One of them is going to be uh, very brief, another bit lengthy presentation. So that is also providing me a launching pad where I can practice my public speaking, presenting. However, mm, I'm just taking some extra bit of efforts, because the more and more efforts I will be taking, I'll be pushing myself out of the comfort zone. And once I am able to keep pushing my comfort zone, then it will become my another comfort zone where I can freely uh, practice uh, and that will become part of my habits. Few days earlier, I was watching a review of the book Atomic Habits, which is written by some author from America, and he shared some of the useful tips that whenever we are trying to develop habits, we need to start with small habits and then keep practicing over and over again, and then they will become part of our personality. And that's how and if we are able to change, make corrections to every single part of our personality over time, and in the long run, that can be really useful. For instance, it is not humanly possible that if I have decided and on the very next day I will become a very efficient public speaker. It is not the case, but over and over time, if I have overcome and someday in fluency, will I will be able to work on fluency for some days. I will be improving my fluency. Second can be, so these are the sub parts of uh, all that situation. So sometimes I will be able to improve my fluency, pronunciation. In other time, there might be I might overcome the filler words. Filler words are really boring whenever anyone is utilizing more filler words such as which seems very hilarious and funny. Then they are making the communication hard to understand because the essential message is lost in those filler words. So if I will be working hard and to overcome those sub parts or subsections of my speech, then over time they will be, and I will be able to overcome those weaknesses, and then I can be able to deliver my messages more effectively. Because when it comes to stakeholders at times they can be very challenging. They can ask any questions, and we need to be sharp enough. We need to be sharp enough to understand their viewpoint, and then we are clearly and concisely we are convincing them our viewpoint, and because their expectations have to be made, and because is a stakeholder accounts manager, it is our primary responsibility that we are able to convince stakeholders, and we can only convince those stakeholders by meeting their needs, requirements, and wants, and then translating them into delivery, in which in my scenario is project management. So we are given a certain task by the stakeholder funders, and that task, that commitment has to be delivered, and that will be strengthening our bonding. And secondly, once uh, those expectations have to be made, we need to communicate those messages to stakeholders. If there are challenges, and there is all the likelihood in the project's life cycle there can be challenges, and we need to communicate to the stakeholders so that they are aware what sort of challenges project is facing, and if we need any sort of help, they should be willing to extend their helping hand for the successful delivery of the project. Because at the end of the day, the goal is that we should be meeting the expectations, are delivering the as per the expectations of the stakeholders. So these are all motivations for me that I want to develop communication skills. It is going to be useful skill, and it is going to be useful skill for everyone who really wants to make significant difference. Intrapersonal communication skills and interpersonal communication skills are really important, because I have identified my weaknesses and strengths. My weaknesses are public speaking skills, and then over time I'll want to restart reading books. I'm really curious, passionate about reading books, and then want to review books, and I want to develop that as my hobby. And over time they will also be contributing, because the more the knowledge we have, and the more enriched our ideas would be. And whenever, secondly, I also did realize over time, when we are able to speak, listen English quite clearly, but sometimes the weakness is we are not able to present our ideas clearly and concisely. So uh, it all comes through practice. It will come up with practice. So that is my motivation, and I will be continuing with the same pace, vigor, motivation, and I'm quite sure over time it will be worthwhile exercise. Like I said in my video number one of 500, and this is two of 500. There's still 498 videos to go, but sooner or later I'll get there. Until then, bye bye.